Eric with Patch Foundry here, pumped today to tell you about the release of the O-6 Synth Pack for the Nord Stage 4. What makes this pack so cool is that we took the original samples that we like off of the famous OB6 sequential keyboard, and we put it into the Nord Stage 4. Then we used all the digital effects and all of the fun things that they do with synthesis in order to create something that feels very warm and analog and unpredictable in a good way, with the stability of digital and the portability of being able to show up with one keyboard and have this awesome analog sound. The OB6 has been one of my go-to synthesizers in the studio and on stage when I've been touring, and it's just nice to have this finally in a digital keyboard. Rather than talk about it, let me just show you some of the cool sounds that you can get out of this, and we'll do a quick walkthrough. Here we go.
All right, guys, so for starters, I've loaded in all the patches for the O-6 Synth Pack into my Nord Stage 4. A bit of housekeeping here. We've got, it's the Nord Stage 4 Compact 73 that I'm using today, but I could load this into any of the three models. It's going to work exactly the same. All the front panel controls are exactly the same. Appreciate that about Nord. That's very helpful. And then you're going to get a total of 45 files when you get the Nord Stage 4 version of this pack. And you're going to get 15 program files, which is basically everything here combined together, both all the sample layers, everything. You're going to get the synth presets themselves. So you're going to get not only, but basically the synth preset is where I take the sample that I have and I use the synthesis power of the Nord Stage 4 in order to kind of make it sound cool. And then the audio effects come bundled with that, which is really nice. That's new on the Stage 4. And then, of course, you're going to get the original samples. So you can chop them up as much as you want, make your own patches, whatever you want. So let's get started. So we'll start off with one part here, and then I'm going to press a button and you get 3 layered synthesizers with each program file that comes here. Almost Moog-like there. Very fun. So I tried to get the most characteristically OB6-esque sounds out of the OB6 and then kind of expanded on them, like this one, for instance. So it's almost like a super saw. But it's basically just a stacked unison that I found there. And the OB6 has some great unison modes. The problem with it is it's only 6 voices. So in that case, if I was to just play this one, I'd be probably left with like 2 or 3 notes I could hold down. Like it would sound something like that, like a lead more, which would be fine. But here, I can stack a whole bunch of them and get a bigger sound. So it's sort of like OB6 Plus. Another thing I'm doing, I'm using my expression pedal to control the cutoff on these, which you can do that on the OB6 as well, which is just a really great feature. And then I'm also using the filter inside of the synth section here, which means it's adjustable. You can adjust it how you want. Like I could bring the envelope here. Resonance. You can get a lot of resonance out of it there if you want. So that's a really fun feature. And of course you can turn on and off individual sounds just by holding them down here. So in this case, I think I like it better with that first one there. So I'm going to just only put that one in. I could just switch to another one of the sounds and save that as part of the program file. I'll save it like that. Now, you may have noticed, if you're listening with headphones, that there's some weird panning stuff going on. So like here is center, here's kind of to the left. So I went back and forth on whether I wanted to include this, but the OB6 has this odd thing where it will basically pan the signal around while you're playing. If you're listening on headphones, it's probably like hitting all kinds of different spots in the stereo field. And I really think I like it. Because it kind of creates some space. So I left it that way. And so, yeah, no, it's not a mistake. It's just one more weird quirk of the synth that I thought was really fun. Some patches will have more of it and others won't. This is my favorite one. So I'm trying to, with this pack, give you something that you might not be able to get from other options. Like this one, it's panning all over the place. And to me, that by choosing really early in the sampling process to include weird quirks like that, you get something very unusual at the end that's still very playable. And because of that, it's going to kind of inspire you to do things that you might not normally do if you're using this for production or even if you're playing live. Like in this case here, if I was doing a blinding lead, maybe I'll put on some. Turn on a few effects. You get some really unusual sounds that you might not get any other way. truly massive analog sound there. Also, you can turn on pretty much any effect, and there's going to be something fairly applicable. So, like, for instance, I could just turn on the delay, and I'm going to get a very subtle thing here. It's basically just doing a quick flutter. But if I wanted to change that, it's really simple. Very on the front panel. There's no menu diving. Very handy. Just such a delicate patch. Man, I could swim in that all day. That's more of that classic Dave Smith sort of sound that we're used to hearing. Again, I'm using the expression pedal, and you can get so much mileage out of that. Of course, arpeggiator available for every single one of these. And I've tried to make sure everything, when you turn it on, it just kind of does whatever, sounds musical. That sounds a little bit more Oberheim-esque. And I'm using the resonance on this thing and the filter on this thing, which is so nice. And that is the entire collection. Now, one last thing before I let you go. The piano section and organ section are not used on any of these, but you have to program something into them. So what I've done is I just used a white grand and a generic organ for every single one of these. You are never going to need those. They're just there in case, because you have to. So anyway, that's one piece of shopkeeping. Thanks for watching.
The O-6 Synth Pack is available starting today for the Nord Stage 4. You can find it at patchfoundry.com/NordStage4. Now, if you've already bought the sample pack version of this, which has been up for about the last 6 months, you get a free upgrade to the full O-6 Synth Pack, which includes triple the number of files, includes synth presets and program files, and of course the original samples. And for everybody else, go out and get it today. Thanks.